UFC 308 is coming up later this month. It's going to be a fantastic featherweight fight that headlines the show, which is Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway for the featherweight title. The BMF title is not on the line. That's something that Ilia Topuria wanted to have on the line, and he's actually parading around with a BMF belt to kick off the 308 promotional tour on ESPN, and he got called out by Max Holloway for wearing that fake strap.
What do you think of his belt on his shoulder right now?
He bought it. For what, $600, $700, brother? That was a waste of money.
Ilia, why did you purchase a BMF belt?
Because I want it.
Sound like a spoiled child.
Initially, I thought that Topuria is going to win this fight. Now I'm not so sure because Max is so durable. And as things head into round 3, 4, and 5, as fight progresses into deeper waters, he seems to get better and better. I don't know how this is going to go, but I am excited to find out. How do you see it going? Let me know, please, in the comments below. Garry versus Colby Covington targeted for the UFC Tampa card. That would be the main event of that card, December 14th in Tampa, Florida. They're right beside each other in the rankings. Colby 6, Garry 7. Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov confirmed for January 11th. Kopilov's looking to get into the rankings with a victory. Joshua Van versus Cody Durden confirmed for December 7th. Flyweight contest there. Yusuf Zalal is going to be taking on Jack Shore on the UFC Edmonton card November 2nd. Zalal's coming off 2 rear naked choke victories. Jack Shore is coming off a loss to Joe Anderson Brito. The card is headlined by a flyweight contest between Brandon Moreno and Amir Albazi. The co-main event is also a flyweight contest, but on the women's side, Rose Namajunas versus Erin Blanchfield, also 5-5-minute rounds. Francis Ngannou wants to fight 3-4 more years and then retire. He's fighting on the 19th of this month. Jake Paul says he's making $40 million for this fight with Tyson November 15th. Who do you think wins in this tournament? I think Holloway beats Hooker, Poirier beats Gaethje, and then beats Holloway in the finals. So Poirier wins the tournament. Who do you think wins? Let me know in the comments.
Hey, how's that? Frank Shamrock here. Yeah, many people don't know that I trained Dana White and Lorenzo Fertitta when they bought the UFC, and I consulted on them on the future of the sport. Yeah, I hate to say they went a completely different direction and just focused on the money. They don't give a fuck about fighters. They don't give a fuck about you. If you're a fighter in the UFC, get the fuck out.
Here's KSI with a message to my opponent, Oscar Willis.
Oscar, your gang fucked up, bro. You ain't ready for the smoke. My brother here about to kill your ass. Good luck.
The January 11th Fight Night card is added Thiago Moises versus Trey Ogden. That's a lightweight contest. Mike Perry's Dirty Boxing Championship is doing their first ever show Saturday, November 23rd. Jessica Penne taking on Elise Reed on the 19th of this month. Amanda Nunes about to bury the division again. Well, she beat the current champion, she beat the former champion, and she beat the #1 pound-for-pound woman, Valentina Shevchenko. So yeah, she's good to go, come back and dominate. Joker 2, the greatest waste of money and potential since Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal is looking to get back into the UFC in March. Someone suggested to Dana White that they do Masvidal versus Woodley. He flat out said no, which is not a surprising response. Masvidal's last fight was a boxing match against Nate Diaz, which he lost. Nate Diaz also looking to get back in the UFC. His suggestion for the BMF tournament, if they do that, Dan and Max are eligible for my belt, but the other 2 nerds, he's talking about Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier, they don't fit the description. You cannot hate Mario Batista and like Merab Dvalishvili. Well, they had the same game plan for Jose Aldo. In fact, Mario Batista probably copied Piotr Jan's game plan because it worked against Aldo and he used it against him. So yeah, they had the same strategy against Aldo. Brian Kelleher no longer on the UFC roster. He has lost 4 in a row. His last fight was a loss to Cody Gibson via arm triangle. Dana White woke up in a bad mood and deleted a lot of fighters off the UFC roster. Ricky Glenn gone. Jarno Aaron's gone. They're adding a lot more fighters for Dana White's Contender Series, so they gotta slash some people, and these are some of the slashes. Jon Jones training with Gable Stevenson and Gordon Ryan, so you may expect him to use some of his jiu-jitsu and his wrestling against Stipe. Stipe is probably looking to box in that fight. Perhaps Jones will get a takedown and use his grappling skills. That takes place next month, UFC 309, November 16th. Madison Square Garden. Devin Haney looking to rematch George Linares at 140 pounds. For Saturday's card, due to issues relating to Hurricane Milton, Chris Barnett is off his heavyweight belt with Junior Tafa. Replacing Barnett is Sean Sharaf, who makes his UFC debut with an undefeated record of 4-0, all of which are first-round KOs. Tafa also has 4 first-round KOs, so there's a good chance this is going to be a quick fight. Former UFC fighter Alessio Di Chirico fighting in Zagreb, Croatia on Saturday, November 23rd. He had 1 win in the UFC, which has aged beautifully, knocking out Joaquin Buckley with a head kick. A guy just got dropped at our gym with a head kick, flash knockout, woke up fine, 0 headache. Now, if he were to get hit with a brutal 3 or 6 punch combo and didn't go out, he probably would have woke up wanting to die from a concussion. Sometimes getting put out with one is better. Which kind of relates to this comment on this channel. That late beating from Poatan was worse than the quick KO like Strickland. They won't do a one-night tournament for the BMF belt. The commission would never approve it. They could maybe do semifinals one night and finals on another event. Tagirul and Bekov versus Juicy Formiga added to the ADXC 6 grappling event. It's the co-main event Friday, October 25th in Abu Dhabi. The main event is Dantes versus Nurmagomedov. This is one day before UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. Nurmagomedov is expected to take on Merab next. Y'all ever see Merab's IG? This man can beat Henry for being the king of cringe. Every time I see him, he has some OnlyFans hoe with him holding a camera. Bro, why? This ain't the way to get famous. My man.
Yeah, just like a bit. There you go, couldn't actually speak there.
Proof, right? Whether she's talking about the Olympic gold medals or being 17-1 and having more finishes than Pena does wins, the numbers don't lie. Kayla Harrison has injected a lot of enthusiasm into this division, and I think you're pretty, Kayla. I think you got a pretty face.
Would you say that you are kinky?
I mean,
I'm slim, thick, and I weigh 440. That's not slim, thick, baby. That's full heavyweight. That's heavyweight. That's heavyweight. That's not slim, thick. That's not slim, thick. That's heavyweight. That's not slim, thick. Let me see who on my phone.
Authenticity is not a destination, it's an orientation, and it's possible to live many lives in this one, each one as true as the last.
I'm straight edge. I'm a man of great discipline. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. My obsession is competition, discipline. My name is C.